So Kash Patel's Senate confirmation is underway, and he is not afraid to let the deep state know, hey, he's not forgetting. He's not afraid to call out their tactics and place the blame where it belongs. He's also got the balls to take these corrupt senators to task, man, and if it's any indication what these next 4 years are gonna be like with the FBI, then, dude, I'm freaking ready for it. Let's go.
Democrats look terrified, not really equipped to handle a guy like Kash. Are we gonna learn things about Butler? Are we going to learn things about the Palm Beach attempt? What else are we going to find out here?
You know, something that he told me, Jesse, he pledged to me that he would open the books on what you just said. He would open the books on the assassination attempts. He would open the books on the FBI's lying to the FISA court, for example, when they went and lied to get wiretaps on the President Trump the first time around. He would open the books on all of their corruption. So you better believe the Democrats are worried because they've been cheering this on for the last 4 years. They talk about enemies lists and political persecution. The FBI has been their personal plaything, at least FBI headquarters has been for the last 4 years, and they're scared to death that Patel will end it. They're not worried that he will actually persecute political opponents. They're worried he's going to stop the FBI doing that because that's what they've been doing the last 4 years.
The Democrats look
Boom! Kash Patel fires warning shot at Pelosi during Senate confirmation hearing, lays blame for J6 rioting directly at her feet.
What were you doing on that day?
On that day specifically, responding to preparing to mobilize and deploy the National Guard once we got the lawful request from the local governing authority, which was the mayor of D.C. and the Speaker of the House.
Now, how many days in advance were you working to prepare the Department of Defense to help secure the Capitol on January 6th?
Days in advance, Senator, we were in the Oval Office on an unrelated national security matter with the President of the United States, the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and myself. And the President authorized up to 20,000 plus National Guardsmen and women to secure any security measures necessary related to the Capitol. So we were moving to the fullest extent of the law before the requisite request came from a local governing authority days ahead of time.
See, it's crazy. A lot of people think Trump set up the events at the Capitol that day, and they don't even realize how much the federal government was actually trying, the executive branch was actually trying to authorize and get National Guard down there for the entire event, but they were blocked not only by Muriel Bowser in D.C., but also by Nancy Pelosi repeatedly.
And while you were Chief of Staff at DOD, how many times did DOD approach Capitol Police and ask if they needed National Guard assistance?
I believe those letters are well documented, numerous instances, and numerous of those instances, those requests were shut down.
Now, am I correct that the Capitol Sergeant at Arms said assistance was unnecessary?
That's correct, Senator.
Who did the Sergeant at Arms report to?
The Speaker of the House.
That would have been Nancy Pelosi at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
And would that also be Chuck Schumer, then the Senate Majority Leader?
The Sergeant at Arms, yes, Senator, reports up there.
Did Mayor Bowser, the Democrat elected mayor in D.C., either request or allow National Guard assistance?
She put in writing on the days leading up to January 6th a declination for National Guard additional support. And that letter is available publicly to the world.
And just to speak English for folks at home, a declination meant she said no, don't send National Guard. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, but we're constantly told that that's just fake news, right-wing talking points. He also embarrassed the crap out of Adam Schiff, who is like obsessed with the definition of the word we. Check this out.
Mr. Patel, early in this hearing, Senator Durbin asked you about the January 6th choir of inmates whose song you promoted, and here's what you said. I did not have anything to do with the recording. I did not have anything to do with the recording. Do you stand by that testimony, Mr. Patel?
Senator, what I said was I didn't do the recording.
You said you didn't have anything to do with the recording, which is interesting because here's what you told Steve Bannon on his podcast. So what we thought would be cool is if we captured that audio and then, of course, had the greatest president, President Donald J. Trump, recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we went to a studio and recorded it, mastered it, digitized it, and put it out as a song now releasing exclusively on the War Room. We. If you had nothing to do with it, Mr. Patel, why did you tell Steve Bannon and all his listeners that you did?
Yeah, like, you know how when your favorite football team wins the Super Bowl, you go, we won the Super Bowl? Or let's say you're on a flag football team and maybe you're sick and you're injured and you couldn't go to the game, but everybody still won the game, your team still won the game. You're going to say, hey, we won the game? You still weren't there? You still aren't in the NFL, but you're still using the word we?
That's why it says we, as you highlighted.
Yeah, and you're part of the we, right? When you say we, that includes you, doesn't it, Mr. Patel?
Not in every instance.
Well, that's new. So when you said we, you didn't really mean you. Is that your testimony?
Not unless you have a new definition for the word we.
Oh, okay. I always thought we included the person who pronounced the word. But maybe not.
How much does Schiff get paid to embarrass himself like this? I'm going to show you guys exactly why they're so scared of Kash Patel. Intel officials spent years battling Kash Patel. Now he's poised to take over a key agency. Kash Patel, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the FBI, has for years battled intelligence agencies over the handling of some of the government's most sensitive national security secrets. As a Republican congressional aide and Trump national security staffer, Patel fought to declassify and release documents to try to undercut the FBI's Russia hoax. It was a hoax. What are they trying to rewrite history? I mean, we all know that the Russia hoax was fake. They're over here saying to try to undercut the FBI's investigation into connections between Russia and the Trump campaign. Like, how dishonest is this? No freaking way, dude. I Googled this to try to pull up some proof just to show you guys real quick. Yeah, it was fake. And look at all these headlines. No, the Russiagate hoax wasn't the hoax the Trump team claims. Look at Russia investigation origins counter narrative. False and debunked claims. Trump in particular has attacked not only the origins, but the conclusions. Oh, man. Dude, are you serious? They're trying to claim that the Russia narrative was real. This is like a revision of history. Look at this. Look at this. The Cato Institute. Yo, I've lost some respect for y'all, Cato Institute, over this. Russia hoax. Yo, it was. Look at this. Look at this. Snopes. DNC and Clinton campaign funded the Trump-Russia Steele dossier, right? And then on top of that, Clinton campaign fined by the FEC for funding the Trump-Russia Steele dossier in 2016. Oh my God, look at this. Trump-Russia Steele dossier analyst is charged with lying to the FBI. Are you kidding me? Dude, a Russian analyst who worked on a dossier that made unsubstantiated claims linking Donald Trump to the Kremlin has been arrested in the U.S. The Department of Justice has charged Igor Danchenko, 43, with lying to the FBI. He was detained as part of an inquiry into the origins of baseless claims that Mr. Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election. The so-called Steele dossier was used by the FBI to obtain surveillance warrants on a top Trump aide. The document was held up by Democrats to paint Trump as a Russian puppet, a narrative amplified in a feedback loop by most U.S. media for much of the president's 4 years in office. And yet here they are revising history to try to demonize Kash Patel and frame some of the moves that he's trying to do as some sort of corrupt billionaires boys club stuff, man. It's ridiculous, dude. Despite everything I just showed you. This was reported by the BBC in November of 2021. Yet when we go to Google, we are seeing the Cato Institute. They're supposed to be a libertarian organization, and they posted this on October 2022. Yo, this is 2017 right here. 2017 from Snopes, right? And then by the time we get to 2022, we've got all of these institutions that are responsible for our cultural zeitgeist going back and trying to revise the narrative. This is why I say we live in the Matrix, dude, and it's not the cool Matrix with Neo and Agent Smith, man. It's the weirdo, crappy Matrix where people like Seth Rich get offed in some sort of fake gang robbery. You know, the FBI is still refusing to release the documents Seth Rich had to the public despite a court order. I can't wait for Kash Patel to get in there.
I'd like to welcome my father, Pramod, and my mother, Anjana, who are sitting here today. They traveled here to get here from India. My sister's also here, Nisha. She also traversed the oceans just to be with me here today. It means the world that you guys are here. Jesse Krishna. I wouldn't be here today without their guidance, their unwavering support, and their relentless love. When President Trump informed me of his intention to nominate me as the director of the FBI, I was deeply honored. Sitting here today, I carry not only the dreams of my parents, but also the hopes of millions of Americans who stand for justice, fairness, and the rule of law.